Today I'm going to talk to you about how British stole tensor mathematics from India. So Colebrooke came to India 1810 in Odisha. Why? Why in Odisha? What was there? So Ananta Shastra was written by Arya in 6th century AD. And he talked about Jyotisha, the astronomy, how tensor mathematics is important in astronomy. Looks surprising? I know you never heard about this kind of thing. So today I'm going to tell you that Vedic mathematics is not about simple doing mathematics in the mind. Those are for kids. And Lilavati is this sutras and other thing. In 1965, this new Vedic mathematics came. Vedic mathematics is 1,000 times more richer than you know, and you don't find it in the common discourse for the scholars. So you should know about Arya. When he wrote Ananta Shastra means the scholarship of infinity. So it was not Ramanujan. We Hindus have been exploring the mathematics of infinity for the last several thousands of years. Because in Vedas also you can find that we talk about infinity. Tat. We never say in the name Tat. And a Tat. And even in puja, you say a Tat. A means this and Tat, that Brahman. So infinity, we directly connect. Yoga, adding, you connect to infinity. So this science of infinity, when Arya wrote, he talked about tensors. And tensors are there, you use them. Do you know where? Use octonion, which is used in astrophysics and astronomy and satellite communication everywhere. You used it. Chess and the Chaturanga. Chaturanga, when you talk about, it's a 4x4 matrix. It's okay, but it is 8x8 is embedded into it. So nested tensors, so inside an octonion, play a game of 4x4. It was there very much. And in different games, it was embedded. So when you play 8x8 tensorial mathematics, and you were trying to play, chakka, we say, the dice, 6 planes, and I explained in my Sattva Jatama video and other videos that how 1/6 probability is actually 6 different qualities, and you carry out statistical mathematical analysis when you play it on the chessboard. Now you understand why it is grounded on 8x8 tensorial mathematics. So stay tuned and I will get back. Tensor mathematics, best example you will see in 400 BC when Panini was constructing the grammar of Sanskrit. That time you will find ekavachan, dvachan, bahuvachan. So one person, two person, as I told in Hinduism, duality is very, very important. In no other culture, no other language in the world, you will find duality. So ekavachan, dvachan, bahuvachan, and this is 3 and 6 situations, karakas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 karakas, and 3x7, and then you have past, present, future. So 3. So xx is 3, yx is 3, and zx is 7. So 3x3x7, a cuboid three-dimensional tensor is used by Sanskrit grammaticians even now today. And you will find several videos talking about these three-dimensional tensors. When 400 BC, they talked about three-dimensional tensors. Then how could Vedic mathematics be limited to adding a few numbers and subtraction tricks? Vedic mathematics, 1965, that when the monk came up with that book and then named it, that is not everything. In astrophysics, there were ample examples. For an example, Panchasiddhantika. If you go through this, how tensor mathematics should be used in cosmology, there are extensive literature. In in Jain mathematics. So Jains contributed significantly. I always say that I never found original contribution from Buddhist scholars except some philosophers. But original contribution, if you want to find, you must dig into Jains. They are silent, humble people. That doesn't mean that they don't know anything. As far as infinity is concerned, if you go through the Jain scriptures, you will find lots of mention about how to use infinity and higher dimensions in the tensor algebra. They never said tensor. They used to say Chaturanga, Astisha, and all these kind of names were there. Astisha means 8x8, what you see in the chessboard. So chessboard was an example, but you have to understand that we had 14 lokas, no? 14 slokas. Sari gama pada ni sa sari da pa ma ga re sa. So sari gama pada ni says aroha, and its imaginary replica is coming back. And 14. And who is the king of 14 lokas? Shiva, and his kingdom is in Varanasi. So it's fine. What is you are missing is a sa common. So 7 into 2, 14 minus 2, 12. So 12 is a very holy number. So 12 different dimensions were there. So going from one loka to another loka, I listen to my top teens story, you will find. So how Lokantar Yatra, going through different lokas or different universes were conceptualized. So it is basically in quaternion, what you do is ijk. I square plus j square plus k square equal to 1, because sum of all the lokas or imaginary higher dimensional universes, contribution of those universes will be unity, because you take feedback from infinity. Which property gives it? Sattaguna. So now, if you have 12 different layers where you can go, 14 lokas, all the descriptions you will find elsewhere. I'm not getting into that. But when you go to different lokas and come back, so you can understand at least you need 14 cross 14 or 12 cross 12 and dimensional tensors, 144 elements or 44 interactive terms of different lokas, you can put it. So if you want to understand Suksma Loka, Devaloka, why you would go to different lokas? Because if you travel, that travel is defined as consciousness. So when you make the journey to different lokas, different universes, and how do you do that? Sankalpa. You know, kalpa is the age of the universe, and you have to sang means synchronization. So synchronization with the time of the kalpa, you have to do it. Then you can move from one loka to another loka. But what are you doing? If you read the descriptions, what you are doing is basically you are doing tensor mathematics. That's why Colebrooke, when he came to Orissa and copied all this tensor mathematics, he took it to Britain. And you know, the several knowledge that were taken from India, from the Hindus, like logic science, Tarka Shastra was taken from Bengal. One day I will do an episode on that. They took it to UK, and then new discoverer, new inventors came up there, and they campaigned for them. So this dishonest act the Europeans did throughout their history. They brought majority of the foods. For an example, porridge came from South Africa. So all the foods they brought from different part of the world. They knew nothing about anything except ditching, cheating, and not even war. So, and what is the evidence? Evidence is that if you look into the literatures, you will find that the tensors, 4x4 tensor and 8x8 tensor, that is quaternion, octonion, has not increased its dimension in the last 225 years. Until 2014, we came up with the concept of higher dimensions. 12x12 dimension, I published a book in 2020 to continue this culture of higher dimensional mathematics. And we brought in several concepts which were fundamental to Hinduism. For an example, decomposition of tensors. Decomposition of tensors, higher dimensional tensor into smaller dimension tensors, was an integral part of Hindu mathematics, and we have brought it in, and we are thoroughly investigating how different tensors, elementary fundamental tensors, contribute to the concept of geometry and the geometrodynamics, because one fundamental contribution which West has not copied still from Hinduism, they need to steal, is that decomposition of tensors. So still it is not there. So if you have a 8 cross 8, it could be 8 cross 8 tensor, it could be 4 cross 4, 4 cross 4, 4 cross 4, 4 cross 4, cross 4, right? So that is how your Ludo board, Ludo game, the kids game, that board is organized. So if you do that decomposition, how does the mathematics play out? Because universe, according to Hinduism, is a fractal universe. Though the whole universe is a living system, Virata Purusha, and then there is a conscious life from inside and inside and inside and inside and inside. That's why Hindus had no choice but to develop a tensor mathematics, because each of the boxes you go horizontally and each of the boxes you go vertically are basically different locus and different universes. Because Western world believes in linearity. Whatever you see with your eyes is the universe. But for us Hindus, we are orthogonal to them. Within and above, we make the journey. That's why without a tensor mathematics, we can't go even a single step. So stay tuned for our journey on manifolds and many flats and the complex evolution, transformative fractal morphogenesis of mathematical multidimensional projection of the tensorial mathematics. So we have taken it forward where Vedic monks ended. British took from us, but they couldn't advance in 225 years. Had it been their own religion, had it been fundamental to their culture, they would have increased. Now we have gone from up to 108 different dimensions. Why 108 dimensions? Because we feel that if we follow the discourse of Vedic science, Vedic mathematics, then until 108, up to 108, if we do not explore it, we can't understand the consciousness, how the consciousness is generated, how a small part can estimate the whole. Finally, I would like to end my video talking about Konark and Ronakpur. So in this region of Odisha, higher dimensional mathematics, tensor algebra progressed very, very much. That's why you saw that the British mathematicians always used to come to this place and copy and take it to the West and claim. And even at that point of time, you have to remember that Hindu, Bodh, Jain, Sikh, all these religions were never separated. The separation work was done by British in 18th and 19th century, because they are the people of dividers, disgraceful as far as human civilization were concerned, carrying out genocide and other kind of killing, much more than what Hitler did in Bengal and even South India. So they came and learned, and then they took it. Ganita-sara-sangraha is Jain mathematics. But if you see where did they learn and where did they develop, it is in the Rangpura and Konark. So it was a Surya temple, but Jains never differentiated. Buddhists never different. They were part of integral part, and little conflicts of little things were inflated, artificially calibrated. What they couldn't make silent is the fact that for Hindus, the fractal universe is fundamentally embedded in our culture, in our blood, in our everyday life. So maybe 200 years you took it from us, but from now on, we will take it back.